Well, you want to break the news, Cronkite, or should I?
Well, we have recorded this a few days earlier, so we've just discovered. Pardon my, I'm a little speechless. Mm-hmm. We just discovered that one of the best comedians of all time, Norm Macdonald, has died.
Yes, one of the funniest guys on the planet, one of my heroes, huge influence on me. I've seen everything. I watch his YouTube probably every other day. I just put it on.
When I first met you and I saw you, I was like, oh, he's doing like a Jerry Norm thing.
Yeah, completely.
Seinfeld and Norm, I think Attell and Dangerfield were my...
Yes.
Every comic you'd see, Joe Mackey was like Hedberg and Eugene Merman.
Wow.
You could always see who people were kind of influenced by in their first couple years. And for you... It was Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, I'm floored. I cannot believe this is real. I'm crushed. I'm hurt. My body's doing that thing where it keeps avoiding it. My brain keeps avoiding it, but then I have to remind myself that it's real.
Well, it's crazy to discover this literally maybe 3 minutes before we just recorded.
Yeah, a live stream ep, by the way. And, oh my God, he's just one of those guys you just never thought I had no idea he had cancer.
He was very young. 61.
61.
Very young.
He had another special in him. He's great on podcasts. I just wish he made more. And look, he's got a lot of stuff out there. So I'm getting greedy, but I think he's one of the funniest people. I mean, no one sounds like him. Amazing jokes, great takes, brilliant comic.
Very sophisticated. I mean, I still remember when he made it to the finals on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He made it to the $1 million question, and he bailed because it was for charity. But It turned out he knew the right answer. So this is a guy who, by all accounts, was like self-educated, and made it that far. I mean, really one of the best comedy minds of all time. I remember Colin Quinn told me a story once that one of my favorite musicians ever, Leonard Cohen, being a Canadian, would go see Norm Macdonald play.
Whoa.
And Norm was like, who's this guy? Who's this old guy? He didn't care that Leonard Cohen was a Norm Macdonald fan.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah. His gambling stories on Howard Stern are incredible. I read his book. I've seen everything he's done. This is
Dirty Work is a great comedy.
I love Dirty Work. I met him once at the Cellar, and I got a photo with him, and now I'm so glad I did. He did Last Comic Standing. He was the only honest judge. He would tell comics they were hacks. It was awesome. The comics hated him. Joe List did it, and he goes, Joe, you're a very good writer. And Anthony Jeselnik goes, hey, Joe, that Norm just called you ugly, which is such a great line.
Damn.
But, oh, my God.
I met him twice, and the first time I met him was I was doing this comedy-style competition at Caroline's, and it was the Final Four. It was me, Dan Soder, who eventually beat me in the final two. It was me, Soder, Nick Cobb, and Adam Newman.
Wow.
And Norm Macdonald was just chilling in the crowd, watching.
Damn.
And he couldn't have been nicer. He was so freaking nice to all of us.
Yeah.
Complimenting our acts, being like, man, I could never do this type of thing, So cool. And then the other time I met him was on Last Comic Standing when he was a judge, and I got eliminated in the first round. I had a pretty good set. Better than a lot of people who moved on, but it's NBC. Let's face it.
That's how it goes.
But I remember I had one joke that Norm singled out and goes, that joke is gold. And that to me was me, I didn't even feel that bad. I got locked off because I was like, Norm Macdonald, who is the judge that I connected to his work the most. It was Roseanne and Keenan. I connect to Roseanne's politics, of course, but no. But it was Roseanne and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and like obviously I love In Living Color, but Norm, I'm a comic. Norm was the guy I connected with, and the joke he loved was I said, my last girlfriend was a hoarder, and she broke up with me, which stings extra hard. I'm like the one thing she can get rid of, and he said he loved that joke, and then Keenan kind of digged me in the Last Comic thing. He said, I like some of your jokes, but not all of them. And I said, well, I loved all your scary movie films, and it got a huge laugh. And I only did the first two. And I was like, all right. I remember I saw Norm in the food. He couldn't let it pass. He couldn't take the L on that one. I knew I was out after that.
Right.
And then I'm walking through the thing. It was like a break. I guess they were taking a break, the paid audience, and I see Norm, and he goes, I really like that you dug it.
Oh.
So that was a special moment.
He's the real deal. He really is.
Yeah, I think he could tell. And I said I met you once at Caroline's, and I told him I really like.
Yeah. Quinn said him and David Spade are the funniest hang of all time.
Them together.
Yeah. I did last comic with Keenan, was one of my judges as well, and he zinged me, and I said, "Appreciate it, Damon," and that got a big laugh. Yeah, but I got kicked out after that.
We both went down swinging.
Yeah,
as they say.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I mean, Norm really was brilliant. I mean, not just his stand-up, but I mean, an edgy, underappreciated Weekend Update anchor.
Oh, the best. Easily the best Weekend guy.
And I believe he followed Kevin Nealon, who I thought was great as well.
Nealon was great.
Yeah, different type of anchor.
Yeah, Dennis Miller was always like lauded as the best one, and then I feel like Norm kind of took it over.
Well, Norm was our guy. It's almost like people were like, I'm a Letterman guy, and then we're like, well, we're Conan guys.
Right.
That's kind of what Norm was.
But he would come in and he would bomb a lot. He would have jokes that the audience would be like, oh, he had this one great joke. He's like, something, women are bad drivers. And they went, oh, and he went, well, I want you to know a woman wrote that joke. And they went, oh, and he went, I'm kidding, we don't hire women. You're like, yeah, that's a comic. Come on.
He just kept teasing him.
That's a fucking combo. He went this way, that way, then that way. I mean, he's the best.
Before we go on, I should say that we're not drinking alcohol this week. We've been doing so many day episodes. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't like getting day drunk. I'm a night drinker.
Sure.
We work at night. It's hard being groggy for these sets all the time.
Yep.
We decide we say we might be drunk. We're not saying we are drunk. The title is We Might Be.
Yes.
And this week we're doing coffee, but it feels weird not drinking now.
I know. I mean, I might pull that Angel's Envy off the shelf and have a toast because it's the.
We got to do a shot for him. I think we drink coffee, but we do a shot.
It's Irish, honor. Baby. He's Irish. McDonald, Canadian, grew up on a farm. Dad was a whatever. His mom was a teacher. He comes from humble beginnings. Read Dostoevsky. I mean, he had a son. He lived in an apartment in L.A. He ate cereal for dinner. Can't drive.
I relate to that
guy.
Right there.
Yeah. It's a huge blow, huge loss. And we literally just found out before recording this.
Well, should we play? I mean, let's play a couple great Norm clips as just to honor him and his greatness.
Here.
All right, this is by request. Norm on Letterman, his last time, doing his World War II joke.
Yes.
I love this joke.
This is where I met him at the cellar. He was running this.
I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, you know, try to scare you, you know? But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? Why'd I have to watch that stupid show? There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... In the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. That had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world.
Always impressive with the same punchline.
And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, that guy. I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world.
Third time.
What do you think, you're Mars or something?
There it is.
I got misty. I'm getting misty here.
It's a great bit. I mean, it's so simple. Those are the best bits. The ones where you're like,
Yep.
how has no one done that?
I know. The world. Oh, God, I'm a fucking queef.
I love when you do a joke that's like the setup, it all hits the crowd at the same time.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys are history buffs, it all just hits them. I mean, that's a great,
Amazing.
that's a beautiful way to bring an exact feeling to everyone in the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Yes. Here. Well said. That's a great point. Yeah, he was the king. He was the best. I mean, if you could play the chairman of the board thing is probably his crown jewel in his panel because he had so many great panel moments, the moth joke, all that shit. But the one with the SNL, because a lot of comics like, I don't give a fuck. I say what I want. This is the ultimate not giving a fuck. He goes on, he gets fired from SNL. He gets rehired to host years later. He's like, really? Okay. He's always hated them because they fired him. So he comes back and tanks the whole show in the monologue and then just does the show. The balls.
His return monologue, you mean?
Yeah. Comes back.
All right, let
Okay.
me do this.
Yeah, start doing the coffee. Sorry, we'll move on from Norm, but I'm freaking out here.
So yeah, I think you were touched by this a little more than most people, Mark.
Yes. Uh-oh. I think he said put it on 10. Oh, God.
Get in here.
We might need Peters. Oh, we can figure this out. What is this? Yeah, good grind.
Not his first time on Grinder.
Oh, I was just about to go there. Not his first time on Grinder. That doesn't look
Heat
good.
it up more.
Looks like shake of bad weed. Oh, my phone's blowing up.
Who wants to talk to you about it?
Everybody, every comic you've ever heard of. I get a million insults on YouTube comments, and I always get, I thought this was Norm Macdonald, and then when I realized it wasn't, I turned it off, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
And that's one YouTube comment I get.
did a bit once that they were like, that's a norm. I didn't know. So I had to pull it. I was
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that hit, and I was like, it was a bit. I was like, that's a good bit. And then someone was like, that's a Norm bit. I'm a fan. I was like, fuck, I pulled it.
Yeah. Well, that's very flattering that you're thinking like Norm. Woo, he got in trouble. Remember, he defended somebody and he got in trouble, and it's
that
like
was so petty. What was that?
it was very petty, and he got in trouble for saying
was it?
Down syndrome or something.
Yeah.
But either way, it just like doesn't this put it all in perspective? This guy is dead now. It's like
He defended Matt Damon, as I recall. Is that
I
right?
think it was Matt Damon. It's like
you can't do that.
you can't do that. That's where we're at. All right. Matt's coming in. Matt Peters, everybody, the producer. You get to see the man behind the
more
machine.
trouble than it's worth at this point.
Oh, God. Just pour it in the filter, see what happens.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But these are from Guatemala. JJ Roasters sent these in, so thanks, JJ.
It's good coffee. I had some at home.
We don't know what to do.
I don't know what's going on here.
Come on. Oh, what do you got? Your nuts with you? What's in the bowl?
That might be too full.
Ah.
That might be it.
Yep. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, boy, you guys seeing all this 9/11 stuff? I'm
Yeah,
so
man,
sick of 9/11.
You're sick? I mean,
I feel like Bin Laden here. I'm like, all right, enough. We got it.
I don't think he was sick of hearing about it. I think he was like, I think that was his crown jewel.
Ah, good point. Atta baby. Boy, we are worthless. Comedians are worthless.
Comedians not making coffee.
Aha. Syracuse is on today.
Is that working?
Whoa. It says brew now. The light is on, so I think you're good.
Cool.
Did you set that clock? You
So
are
the
a
clock.
fucking
So the
beast.
clock is right on the coffee thing.
There's not one clock in America on a coffee machine that is correct.
Plugged in over there.
Wow.
Mine says 9/11 on it.
That Afghani roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
There we go.
Sounds like Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs right now. You hear that? Yeah, man. Norm was one of the best ever. Should we do some more? That's kind of
Yeah.
loud, isn't it?
I don't think the mics pick it up.
Why is
Hey,
that so
I want
loud?
to hear the chairman of the board.
Sounds like it's
one.
Yeah,
Sizzling.
let's do the chairman of the board bit, Norm.
So, one of you guys want to set this up?
Well, he's on with an actress
Courtney Thorne Smith. I've seen it a million
who I
times.
think was from Melrose Place, right?
Yeah.
And she is in this movie with Carrot Top, who I guess was making a lot of movies at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Called Chairman of the Board. And Norm was the first guest, and he hangs around. So here you go.
You are making
Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay. But what's the movie going to be called?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
Oh my God.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Falls out of the chair. I mean, come on. That is
Epic
unbelievable.
moment. I wish they let the laughs go a little longer.
Yeah.
They shortened it, but yeah. Incredible.
You know, as a comic, we've all been in that moment where they're like, what do you got now? I mean, you handle hecklers all the time. You're swatting flies all day long. When you think of that line.
When Conan challenges you and you deliver, it's pretty damn cool. And also, I mean, this is very much, I get Mark relates to this as saying the inappropriate thing at all times. This is, I mean, so much of like what I related to as a comic growing up was Dangerfield in the hoity-toity scene being inappropriate.
Right.
I mean, you're the disruptor as the comic.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I love this shit.
Oh, it's the best. And then to have that line, and he nailed it. I mean, to put that much pressure on you on TV and nail it, I mean, it just proves that he's on another level. B-O-R-E-D. Come on, to pull that out of your ass, that is something. And then the delivery, he's so excited. He's like a 10-year-old. I bet it's called B-O-R-E-D. It's like, oh, it's so funny. God, I messed up already. Ah.
Damn. Brutal.
Thank God we have all the footage at least. But Jesus, we'll never get anything new.
I mean, he was a true comic legend. I mean, so many comics revered him. He was a comics comic, and it's rare for those guys to break through and have the mainstream success that Norm had. But he really did. You know.
Yeah.
He had a lot of failed pilots, but he kept getting the pilots because I think he was one of those guys. I think even the suits were like, nah, he's good. Like, he had that kind of pure, tall, good-looking guy. Great observational, could work clean. Kind of had all the tools of what a mega star stand-up should have, but he was just so dry and such a disruptor, that would get in the way sometimes. But,
totally.
You know.
He had his sports show. I'm not even a sports guy, and the jokes were so good. Like, he was killer on that.
Great show.
Yeah, just nobody cared about sports on Comedy Central, I guess.
I remember he did a bit that defended Tiger Woods that I thought was hilarious on the show, and the bit was basically like, how many... Well, he's like, yeah, he cheated, but think about how many women hit on him. Like he goes, how many women hit on you in this many years? He goes, 1 in 10 years. He goes, Tiger had like this many hundred. He only slept with this many.
Right.
And he did the math. He goes, he's more faithful than you are. That's a great angle for a bit.
Great angle. And then people nowadays hear that and they go, well, that's a little low. And you're like, it's about the angle, you cum guzzler. It's about the joke, the tools, the spin. It's a magic trick, and he pulled it off. It's not about the politics and all that. That's what I love. Well,
he was a contrarian. A lot of great comics are like, well, I think it was more like the media was tearing Tiger to shreds, and even though we can agree what he did was wrong, I think he felt for him, and that was his way of being like, I feel for this guy that is being railroaded. Like, when you see the Tiger doc, you do feel for him.
Sure,
you know?
of course.
So, what was the thing he did was wrong? Slept with a lot of women?
Slept with like 20 women behind his wife's back.
His wife's back.
Yeah. I mean, that's him just fucking those women is if you're not married. I think that's, but you know, she made out okay financially.
Sure.
I'm sure she's got other issues.
Yeah.
There's nuance to the picture, and he added nuance. That's what I think. That's what I took from the bit.
Good point. Well, we do a thing now where we just deem somebody like, he's bad. So like Tiger Woods was bad. And then to find a way to make him okay is really brilliant. That's hard comedy.
Well, yeah, he was finding an unorthodox angle.
Yes.
Which I loved about it.
Same. Like Tasha's this joke about how slavery is kind of cool. And you're like, whoa, how is he going to get out of this one? And he does it and it kills. And you're like, he probably doesn't. It's not like he's pro-slavery.
I'm guessing he worked that one out in Beverly Hills. I don't think he worked that one out in Atlanta.
I don't know. I think I saw him in Compton. But you see my point. The skill is to get out of that, to set it up and get out. Bill Burr has a lot of those. You set it up and you get out.
If they're clapping in the setup, it's not exactly a thrill. It's not as exciting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. So, Jesus, he'll be missed. I still can't believe it's real. I got a bad news. After I drink this, I'm going to shit all over you.
Okay.
Because I can't not shit after a cup of coffee.
Well, that's all right. I mean,
right.
that's what it does, right?
Yeah.
I love a good morning. I like the consistency of my morning. I wake up, I make my coffee, and I take a shit. There's something comforting about that routine.
I do the same exact thing, except I have oatmeal. Now, do you read on the shitter?
Admittedly, I do a lot of phone scrolling. I'll read the news, but like,
okay.
I back the days of me reading a hardcover on the book. It's like,
So our apartments are kind of small. Do you shit with your fiance and your girlfriend in the house?
Yeah,
Of course. Door open. Live feed.
Yeah.
She's
I
got it on
actually
her
door
laptop.
open and I have a fan blowing in her direction. No,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Learn some of the romance.
Wow.
The romance?
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing on her chest. No.
She's from Germany, but
The world.
what do you mean? I mean, you got to poop in your apartment. What do you think? I'm going to go to the fucking corner store?
Or like wait till she goes out to do something.
I guess you could
That's a
do
bold
that.
move. Hey, can you take a walk? I've got to take a dump. Like that's a bit
Right.
aggressive too, isn't it?
Yeah, one word. Candles. You light a candle.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little remembrance. You flush it. It's like a little memoriam. for
Now
the
it smells like
turd.
my ass and sandalwood. So that's kind of nice. No, for sure. I mean, also here's a little secret that I've learned from the ladies. Poopery. Get that little spray. You put it in the toilet before you poop. No smell.
Let me ask you this. You
Yeah.
got a bidet?
No, do you?
No, everybody's got a bidet but us. We're the only 3 people in America without a bidet, it feels
Bidets
like.
seem nice.
They seem great.
They used to get mocked for a bidet, but I feel like now that they're green, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice too. Like I feel like you're not fully wiping the ass without a bidet.
It's true. I mean, they make a good case. You wouldn't wipe shit off your arm with a dry towel.
I mean, I do, but I wouldn't do it normally.
But the bidet is the gay marriage of toiletries.
Why is that?
Because it used to not be accepted, and like a few people were into it, and now everybody likes it, and it tickles your asshole.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, it's come around.
It's tough that the asshole tickle is now part of the bedroom because then you take a shit, you get a little aroused.
Yes, yes, yeah. Your brain is confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always read
Just
on the
like during
shitter.
sex.
Oh yeah, we're all confused. This is a lot of fucking coffee.
Yeah, Matt, we might have gone overboard here. This is 10 cups for
Let's
3 of us?
Yeah. What are you doing? This is for the AA meeting after? I mean, this is a full pot. Pol Pot. Bad dictator. I'm doing word association here.
For anyone who questions that Mark is autistic.
He's trying not to think about Norm.
I am. You got
No,
the
it's-
photo. Can we move
it's
the
very,
photo?
It's very upsetting.
Jesus
Truly,
Christ.
truly a legend.
Sorry. On my YouTube page is a thing that says Mark Norman on Norm Macdonald. It's like 30 minutes of somebody compiled me blowing Norm and just made it a video. So that's where if you wanna hear me talk about him, it's there. And just watch. There's a great channel.
I saw he retweeted one of your jokes. Not too long ago.
I reposted it on Instagram. I met the world to me. Yeah, he has a YouTube page called I'm Not Norm, and whoever made it is like some super fan, and it's so well done, and it's got all the best shit. So check that out. I'm Not Norm.
It's rough, man. Well, should we
Yeah.
try to talk about? I mean, let's try to talk about upbeat stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
You have a good weekend and any good recs for me?
I got a ton of stuff to
Oh,
talk
I watched
about.
Malice at the Palace.
Pretty great.
I
Huh?
loved it. It's
Pretty
incredible,
great.
man. Yeah, on Netflix. It's only an hour and 8 minutes. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a great short doc, it's terrific. It's I remember where I was when that happened. It was such a shocking moment, the
Same.
fight in the palace. But yeah, Artest or now Meta World Peace, Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson. It's great.
It's great. It's
Reggie.
so well done, and it just shows like the media can spin stuff, and these poor guys went through hell. O'Neal was on the course to be a big shot.
Well, he
apparently.
was a great player, but I think that really hurt him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I think like you put in that kind of work, and your teammates keep taking the wind out from under your sails.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to the guy or the gal, whoever directs these things. The new one with Marty Fish. Have you guys heard of Marty Fish? Wait, I like the cream first. Sorry. Tell me when.
A little more.
Oh,
There we go.
jeez. That cow. All right, this guy Marty Fish is a tennis guy, and he's just a regular guy, but he got to like number 1 in the world, and then he had a mental breakdown and lost it all. But these Untolds are amazing. The Bruce Jenner one, this one, Malice in the Palace, the Christy Martin one, they're incredible. Whoever's doing these deserves a bidet.
The Bruce Jenner one's incredible?
Incredible, because you never hear that side of him, you know, because Caitlyn came through. Here we go.
Hey, to a new beginning.
Here.
To a sober episode. Matt, do you want some coffee?
Oh, it smells pretty damn good. Guatemala, baby. COVID.
Oh, that's really good. That's good coffee.
Wow.
Shout out to JJ Roasters for sending this to us.
Hell yeah.
I love it, man.
Man,
wow,
that
that's
is
terrific.
good. And that oat milk is hitting the spot.
Oat milk, underrated milk.
Oh, the best milk.
It makes me. It's like you ever date someone, you're like, they were great, and then you date someone after, you're like, oh no, they're great.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, the transition from almond to oat milk.
Ooh.
I thought almond was good, and then I was like, almond ain't shit.
Yeah. And I'm glad almond's over because we got through all those. There ain't no nipples on an almond. All right, all right, we got it.
I mean, it's like
Everyone has it.
Everyone has it.
Yeah.
Too much.
How you milk an oat? There's no nipples on an oat. Yeah.
So, Marty Fish.
Yeah, just a fascinating guy because he's a guy like us, but he got wrapped up in this. He played tennis as a kid just for fun.
Yeah.
And then he started getting competitive, and he did okay. He was friends with Andy Roddick. They would compete, whatever. But he lost 10 games in a row to Andy Roddick. He was a friend. And then one day he just said, you know what? I'm pretty good at tennis. I'm going to change my whole life, work out every day, and become the best. And he just did it. And then he started he beat Nadal. He beat all these guys. It's unbelievable. It's just a thing flipped. I mean, his wife was like, it ruined our marriage. Like, he was out every day practicing, and he said he would just tell a guy, serve the ball to me that on that side and then that side. We're going to do that for like 4 hours. And then they would go jog, and then they would go work out. I mean, it's unreal. He just had something flip, and then he went crazy.
That's crazy that, you pursue you do what it takes to really be great, and the toll, it's never nothing. It's always
never nothing.
It's always something pretty extreme, and
yes,
it's hard to have it all.
So I don't want to give away the ending, but he's on his way to the U.S. Open, the top elite against Djokovic or whatever his name is, the best in the world, and he's having a panic attack in the car on the way there in the limo, and his wife goes, "This is bad. You don't have to go," and he was like, "I don't." And he just went home.
Wow.
On his way to the Open. Insane.
Wow.
Cool.
Damn.
Doc. Check it out. Untold. The whole series is killer.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, these sports docs are really...
They're fun.
Docs were just kind of a thing. Like, you'd see a doc every 5 years back when we were younger. Now they're like taking over. And movies suck.
It's one of the few... Netflix doesn't have a lot of good original shows, but then the docs they have are pretty strong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Killing it. Even the 9/11 one was great.
I didn't see that.
I jerked off to it.
You jerked off to it?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the best...
oh, that's a... Yeah.
That Louis bit, how you could tell how good a person you were by how long you waited to jack off after 9/11. And he said, for me, it was in between the first and the second tower. Yeah, pretty great.
Between the first and the second? That's great.
Dude.
I remember jerking off on Christmas morning once and feeling horrible about myself.
Really?
Yeah. I did it for the Jews. No. Before, but I could hear my grandparents downstairs, and it was like family time, and I was like, I gotta rub one out real quick. I was like 13, 14, and
you have no control of your penis at 13, 14.
No,
the penis controls you.
Yeah,
you just wake up with a stiff one. You're like, oh fuck.
And no present was as good as that tube sock I filled.
That was the one year you were happy you got extra socks for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, how do you know I needed these?
Right, I hung that stocking up. It was hard. Holy gee, what are you doing, Sally?
Christmas masturbating.
Oh.
You're going to get us kicked off YouTube.
Off on presents, but I got...
We don't need a visual for everything, man. Yeah. We can just visualize some of this.
The worst part was the candy cane up my ass. But other than that, it was a great time.
Yeah, dude. I mean... That 9/11, I can't watch any 9/11 stuff. I'll tell you the one movie I think handled it tastefully was 25th Hour.
Oh yeah,
the Spike Lee movie where they're just kind of at ground zero, and there was actually a New York Times article about this last weekend about how that was like the one movie, and that's how I felt. I remember seeing the theater, and it's Philip Seymour Hoffman and Barry Pepper just like looking over, because all these movies were editing the Twin Towers in at the time, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is like the opposite of being a Holocaust denier. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
it's weird. You're just like, what do you put? So that,
Yeah, you always hear that. No Jews in the building. It's like, I think there were Jews in the building, right?
what are you talking about?
That's always the big conspiracy about 9/11. There were no Jews in the building, just saying.
That Mossad took it down.
Right.
And they warned all the Jews. Like, they have time to do that.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
Of course not.
Yeah. I mean,
no.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think, I remember that day. I mean, you were here, right?
Really?
Yeah, I remember it.
He has a photo of him at a bar drinking after.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you do? What were you, like
I was
11?
in school, yeah. I remember my dad would take me out of school. I remember I had a teacher give us a pop quiz. Like we found out that the
One tower, -2.
I was like, look, in her defense, this is a math class, so I don't know. But no, she was a Spanish teacher, and we were like, fuck you. We were all screaming at her, like, we're not taking this. And then she was like, pop quiz. And we're like, we're under attack. And I just wrote fuck you on the test.
Whoa.
Yeah. I got an F, but you know
Hell
what?
yeah.
I was like, fuck this shit. I don't know if my mom's okay.
Right. Yeah, crazy, man.
This is my photo from...
I woke up. Oh, let's see it. Is that connected? I woke up hungover. I was in college, and I walked downstairs, and it was tough times at the Norman household, just me being a piece of shit. And I walked down, and my dad goes, something horrible has happened. And I was like, oh, God. Did I wreck the car? Did I drive through the front lawn? Did I do something? And he goes, look at the TV. And the towers were smoking. I went, oh, thank God.
Oh, my God.
Because I thought it was me. But then 2 seconds
Yeah, thank
later.
God you didn't get a DUI and 9/11 happened. We really lucked out.
Yeah,
you
well,
selfish fuck.
I wrecked my dad's car like a week before, and I was
no.
blacking out a lot. So it was a tough time, but obviously that
Jeez.
took precedent over the...
Yeah, man, you know, I remember that. I mean, we all lined up to give blood, but the lines were too long. I mean, that's how amazing New Yorkers are in times of crisis, is like we all lined up to give blood, and they're like, nope, we have too many people already. We're set.
Yeah.
So we tried a few hospitals.
There was no one to give blood to.
Yeah.
At some point, because no one was coming in
Uh,
who was injured.
Right.
remember
Yeah.
how much we love firemen? That was like the fireman heyday that time.
Yeah. Well, firemen are still pretty beloved, I think.
Yeah, but they were like in the front limelight. I love watching the docs too, because you hear the accents, like 31st floor. You know, you got to hear it. It's great, like thick Irish Brooklyn fireman accents.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, man. I remember that day. I mean, it was crazy. Really, really terrible. But
Hot take.
hot take.
Yeah.
That was. I don't want to divide anyone here, but 9/11 was bad.
I will say there was some unity amongst the country for once.
Well, because
you
it
know?
was us versus them.
Yes.
It wasn't us versus each other.
I know. I hate it.
Yeah.
The division.
Yeah.
My God, the division.
I mean, we liked Rudy Giuliani back then.
That's right.
Until his entire presidential campaign was 9/11. 9/11. 9/11. That was literally every line. There were like compilations where we're like, yeah, dude, we know who you are.
yeah.
Rudy had a hot minute in New York.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was big.
Yeah.
Broken window theory. That was his.
What's that?
That's like...
It's when you have cops take on little petty crimes, like jumping the turnstile.
Right.
And that leads to cleaning up the city. If you catch a guy who's jumping the turnstile, he's also someone who's going to rob someone in the subway.
Oh,
so,
shit.
the idea is if you take care of the little things, the big things will follow.
Yes.
So it's
you
called
get the seed.
Broken window.
Broken
I don't think
window
it's theory. It's
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But it seemed to work because crime went way down. But they also did stop and frisk. It was
yeah,
pretty
stop and
controversial.
frisk is bad.
I got frisked once.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I was the guy. They were like, get him in. It'll help optics.
So diversity worked in your favor? Or
Yeah.
against you, I mean?
Against me, yeah.
Yeah, I got a good rec for you boys this week.
Oh, I love
Change
the
it
boy.
up.
Nobody holds a coffee cup like this. The Marill. I
do you
mean,
mean?
look, that's a real writer right there.
Really?
That's a good hold.
I do, but I just always hold it like this, I guess. I don't know.
Pro hold. I'm like a dweeb with the handle.
This looks a little weird, too.
Yeah, but the above and the side, that's
He's
good.
got a big hand.
Aha.
Here's my rec. Old movie, not old, but from, I believe, the late 80s, called The Fabulous Baker Boys.
Oh.
Jeff Bridges, Bo Bridges,
Skeet
and
Ulrich.
no, Michelle Pfeiffer. It's basically it is like the best movie about comedy that's not about comedy.
Well, isn't this like train robbing?
No, that's another movie.
Oh, I'm thinking something else.
They're a piano band. They're in they play piano together, Jeff and Bo Bridges, and they can't sell tickets. It's so many great scenes where they're like trying to get paid at the end of the night, and they're trying to get gigs, and there's a scene in the beginning where they hand him an envelope, and Jeff Bridges goes, "Count it, count the money." Like that, like they're always getting shorted. It's great scenes like that.
Been there,
but and then there's they're kind of struggling to get bookings, and Bo, his older brother, says, he's the more conservative one. He's got a wife and kids he needs to provide for, whereas Jeff, the younger brother, he's more talented. He's more of an artist. I mean, it's hilarious. There's scenes where he's in like a club playing jazz, and it's like black guys, and they have to get black guys in there to be like, he's good. And you're like, you got to put him over. You need a black guy in there to be like, no, he's good.
Right. But, the ultimate nod.
But but they're not selling tickets, so they're like, we need a woman in there. She's an ex-prostitute, turns out has a great voice. She goes on the road with them, and it kind of goes from there. It's really good.
Wow.
A lot of great lines. There's a lot of great one-liners. There's a line in it where he's in the jazz club, and one of the guys goes, aren't you playing the Sheridan or something? He goes, yeah, it keeps me out of trouble. And he goes, then what are you doing here? He goes, looking for trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of fun lines.
I love it. I've never thought about this movie. I've heard the title, but I never knew this was about.
Well, shout out to Ronan Hirschberg, our buddy, because he was like, you got to watch it. It's like so like comedy.
Yes.
The way they were doing the road and stuff. Ooh. And the way they're hustling to survive. And then
I love these worlds where prostitutes look like Michelle Pfeiffer too, by the way. Where's that prostitute? I've seen the ones that look like Patrick Ewing,
Well,
I'm in.
It's great. It's on YouTube in its entirety. I couldn't find it anywhere else actually. But it's free on YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you got
baby.
something else. The Fabulous Baker Boys.
I'm in. Great rec.
Good flick.
Good pull. You don't mind going back in a time machine and checking out.
It's like the late 80s. It's like, I like something about old movies gives me calm. It's like their work lives on. I kind of like that. It's not even that old. It's like the late 80s, I think. But I like really old movies usually.
Yeah. That's fun, though. The 80s were very cookie cutter for movies, I think, but this one seems interesting. I'm in. Any movie that I can parallel with The Wrestler, Crazy Heart, this. I like a movie
another Jeff Bridges, Crazy Heart.
That's right.
But I felt like I like Crazy Heart, but I feel like it was kind of like The Wrestler light.
Similar, yeah.
It was like the PG-13 Wrestler.
Right.
The Wrestler. Wrestler's incredible.
Incredible.
Man, something about pro wrestling gives me like I was on the road this weekend and I was sick and I was, feeling like crap in that hotel room. And there's something about being sick on the road that's just so damn awful.
Oof, the worst.
And I'm laying in bed. I'm like, what do I do? You ever, when you're sick, you just go back to like childhood comforts? I just threw on like a wrestling match from like back in the day. Then you like dig deep in a YouTube comment hole, and it's like how the wrestlers fucking hate each other.
Yes.
And they're like, that piece of shit didn't fall when he was supposed to fall. Gave me a concussion.
I love that
see
shit.
Beyond the Mat?
No, I hear it's great.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Bret Hart?
No, it's the Jake the Snake sort of doc.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't see that. I've seen a bunch of them, but I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They did the Andre the Giant. They did Ric Flair, and they're doing a Hulk Hogan one soon.
I was never a Hogan guy.
I wasn't really either. I
was
Ric
a
Flair.
Macho Man guy.
Oh.
They all hated Hogan. They were like, it's funny. I hear these things about the political game, how guys like Hogan and Shawn Michaels weren't as well liked because they played the politics kind of. They were very talented, obviously, especially Shawn Michaels, but like they weren't. Macho Man was funny, I thought.
He was funnier, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like Macho Man. I like Bret Hart. I liked,
Shawn Michaels.
He was great.
Yeah. I like that too. I liked Hogan because he was bald. I remember thinking like this bald guy is hanging in there. He had the long hair with bald, and people still liked him.
The long hair with bald's a rough. Remember Russ Maneve used to have a joke where he goes, "How about a bald guy with a ponytail? It looks like all your hair got together and hung itself."
Oh, I love
That's
jokes
a great
like
joke.
that. That's great.
Yeah, man. No, Macho Man was the best.
Yeah.
There's a real darkness to wrestlers, like even beyond comics.
Yeah.
Like they're on the road harder than we are, and they're
Oh, yeah.
sore. Like think about how sore we are just from flights, and they're doing that shit while like fake fighting and
I
jumping
know.
through tables and shit.
And the pills and the booze and the coke. I mean, they go hard, these guys, and they get hit with
Well, they
folding
die so
chairs.
young.
They die young. They got to hit the gym. They got to look good. They have to invent a character like maybe The Rock and what's that guy's name?
Mick
Steve
Foley?
Austin.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably the last great character wrestler. Is there a new one now that I'm not aware of?
No, we just don't watch anymore.
I guess you're
there's
right.
good people still. We just
But that guy, he would stand up on the ropes, and they'd throw him a beer, he would chug it, they'd throw him another beer, he would chug it, then he would go back to the mat. I mean, he really was a spectacle.
yeah, he was a badass.
Don't forget Goldberg.
Everyone hated that guy.
Oh, really? Well, anti-Semitism.
No. He was just a bad wrestler. He's the one who injured Bret Hart.
Oh,
Like he didn't know how to properly to execute the move, so he hurt him badly. You got to learn the moves. I think they tried to push him into prime time. Like all his matches were really quick because he wasn't that good. But he was like the new character. It's almost like a TikTok comic doing comedy clubs. We were like, he's good on TikTok.
Right.
He doesn't have the chops yet.
Yeah.
Strong guy, but it's like you can't. I mean, that's like a fucking ballet for meatheads almost.
It really is. That's a great way to put it. Ballet for meatheads. Speaking of that, I went to see Jimmy Buffett at Red Rocks.
Oh man, how was that?
That's why I needed this coffee, because I destroyed my body over the 3 days I was with Bert Kreischer. We did 2 IVs back to back.
How did that help?
Unbelievable. You get why these rich guys do it, because it's fucking awesome.
The only problem is doing that shit. You're like, when you're that hungover, your body's like, please stop doing this.
I know.
And then you get an IV, and you're like, I'm gonna keep doing this.
You got that right. Yeah. I was drinking a mimosa with an IV
Oh my
in
God.
my other arm. I mean, we went at it. I did shrooms at Buffett. I'm not the hugest Jimmy Buffett fan, but you can't deny the good vibes. Look at that. I mean, I was standing with 10,000 people singing Cheeseburger in Paradise with a fucking shark hat on and a Hawaiian shirt and a grass skirt. And I was on shrooms with my lady. We're dancing. I'm with Bert's wife, and Bert is hammered and chugging beers. I mean, it was really a special moment.
Damn.
Pretty cool.
Looks fun.
Super fun.
How was it for you taking a night off comedy?
Not easy. But the shrooms helped.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like I feel sometimes when I go to another thing, I'm like, what am I doing?
I know.
I should be doing stand-up.
Oh, all the time.
The only thing I can kind of zone out is like a Knicks game. That's like the only thing I can like be like, oh, like, well, I this is like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But other than that,
You really need to be captivated, or else you're just like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm guilty. I got to get in there, you know?
I love baseball, but it's too slow. The whole time I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. And here's the windup. You know?
Yeah. We went to that Yankees game, and we got lit up just because I think out of guilt.
I've got a question for you, Sam.
Sure.
You get to pick one of 2 things, and you only get to see it once in your life. The Knicks win a championship,
Or
you play MSG.
Woo, that's easy.
Well, for you, maybe the Knicks thing. I think he's going to pick the Knicks.
Well, you're saying me or that or another person. I mean,
You'll
you got to
never see one again. You'll never see another championship. He's going to watch the Knicks until he dies.
here's what I'll say.
It's a good question.
Championship means less to me than just being run competently. Like I am okay with losing. I just want to lose. Like my favorite team ever is the 90s Knicks. They never won. Like I love the
Interesting.
90s Yankees so much. They won. Like my favorite team is a team that never won. So I'm okay with not winning. So I will probably choose me here. But at the same time, I really do love that. And also here's the problem is like that was a badass team. Look at that. When men were men, baby.
Yeah.
They represented the city and they did it with style.
Oh, yeah.
No, they were a great team. I just want to be cool and competitive again. Also, if they get too good, I'm never going to get tickets.
Good point.
I
Good
love
point.
it. But I do. I mean, look, I really want to see him win for sure. But also, it's like you have to take a moment sometimes with sports and be like, does this really affect my life?
Right.
You know?
That's true. Good. That's good. I think that's healthy.
Knicks are the one, like, I'm a Knicks fan and a Giants fan and a Yankees fan. And the Giants beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of like, I'm set on football for life. And I better be watching the Giants the last few years. Holy shit.
Yikes.
But Yankees too. I'm like set for life. I got to live through Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera and Jorge Posada and Bernie Williams and Tino. And like, those are like some of the coolest teams ever. Like I love Paul O'Neill. I love those guys, dude. But, you know, the Knicks, they never won. And I'm like, you know, then you see some of these kids who grow up like in Boston where their teams won every year. They're like 20 in Boston. Like, oh, you just never knew what losing was like. That's bad for a kid. You just become a fair weather little shithead.
Right.
I hate fair weather fans. I think it's like it exposes lack of character. Like you're like, oh, you're a Dolphins, Yankees, and Chicago Bulls fan.
Right.
Yeah, it's like one of the things where you're like, oh, you were a fan of all the teams that were the best when you were a kid, and you just stuck it out, so you think that means you have character, but it's like, no, you got to win. Right. You're shitty. I think if you're a loyal sports fan, you're often loyal to like people, and I think it's not just that.
Yeah, it's like saying, what's your favorite restaurant? McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Like, come on, man, get in there.
How is it like that?
Ah, shit. Well, it's just an easy answer. Like, oh, you like the one that everybody else likes. It's mainstream.
Oh, I didn't think that was your. I mean, my thing is like, I have friends who are like, one of my good friends, Dory, I shit him all the time. He was a Lakers fan during the Shaq and Kobe era. Now he's a Warriors fan. And I'm like, you're a fucking bitch, Dory. And he's gonna get mad at me for saying this. But I'm like, Dory. And he'll be like, well, I'm from the Bay Area. And I'm like, but you grew up a Lakers fan.
Yeah. Hey, we might be drunk is brought to you by Honey. You gotta love Honey. I mean, come on. You shop online. We all do it. You buy shoes, you buy groceries, you buy toilet paper. And we've all seen that empty promo code thing just taunting you. And you're like, oh, if only I had a promo code, I'd get half off or a percentage, something. But I never have one. Who has that? You go to some shoe brand, you're like, I could get a real discount here, but I never have it. I always wonder who does. Well, now Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for discount codes. When you're ready to check out, Honey automatically applies the best one, instant savings. Honey has found its customers over 2 billion clams in savings, supported by over 30,000 stores online. Buy anything from tech, gaming, beer, wine, you name it. I saved on some sweet kicks. Thanks to Honey, put that code in. Got a discount. Shoes are expensive. Get a break. Tell them how to do it, Fatty.
If you don't have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free, installs in just a few seconds. Save some dough and support this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/drunk. That's joinhoney.com/drunk. And get that honey, baby.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, I put Spike Lee up here for a reason. I was watching his 9/11 doc that's on HBO all the time now.
The one about the levees? Oh, that's
No.
Katrina. Sorry.
It's like New York over the last 20 years, basically.
Yeah.
It's like a 15-part doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
His daughter's in it. Her name is Satchel.
Like Woody Allen.
Woody Allen has a son named Satchel.
Baseball player?
Satchel Paige.
Both named after Satchel Paige.
Wow.
That's
What are
fun.
the chances like Woody Allen?
Both directors.
Both New Yorkers.
Interesting.
Both Knicks fans.
I think
The only two kids in the country named Satchel have to be theirs.
No, there's other Satchels.
there's a couple satchels out there.
It's not even a real name.
It was a name.
It
Satchel
is now.
Paige.
I think it's a nickname. I think.
Jeez. You know what I'm going to name my kid?
Huh.
Lou Gehrig's disease. Morel.
It's a long one.
I knew a comic back in the day, Glenn Coyle, rest in peace, Glenn, very funny guy. He said, my girlfriend got Lou Gehrig's disease, so I traded her.
I love it. That's
He
great.
was a funny bastard.
All right, let me give you a weird rec. I'm off on this ep because this fucking Norm thing is
It's brutal.
right in my
It's
asshole.
fucking horrible.
Horrible. I keep forgetting, and then you remember again, and you want to just end it all. But get yourself one of these and thank me later. JamBox. I'm talking a little thing. You could the size of a coffee mug. You can put in your suitcase.
It's a speaker.
Speaker for your Bluetooth, little one. Yeah, one of those. The smaller, the better. Bring it to your hotel room. I like to play my podcast out loud. I play a little music out loud, not to annoying level, but like not Puerto Rican Day Parade, but just like a little tune. And you play it in the shower. It's great. I get it in my apartment. I got it in a hotel room. Give it a shot. It's good for a backyard. Get yourself one of those jam boxes or pills or whatever you call them.
Yeah, they are good. I like those
They're
things.
good. They're underrated because they come in handy. We were sitting out during Red Rocks, like in the lawn, and somebody had one. I was like, thank God you have this thing. They're great.
It's crazy how good we are at avoiding conversation now.
Oh,
I was thinking about that. I was watching a show on the Comedy Central app on my TV.
You're the one.
But it had commercials.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, so every time there'd be a commercial, my girlfriend and I would like talk about what we just saw. I was like, oh, we don't do that anymore.
Right.
That's like, it's like weird that you're like, oh shit, I used to do this with every show. You'd watch something, there'd be a commercial, you talk. Now it's like literally the episode's over. Starting next episode, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're like, oh shit, all right.
We can't have a moment to ourselves. We freak out.
It's anxiety, man.
Yeah.
Or like when you have an awkward moment, the phones. I mean, that the little JamBox thing too. It's like you're hanging, you're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? And you're like, thank God.
Thank God there's noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, even you're walking down the sidewalk, you get the red light. I got 4 seconds. I'll look at my phone. We all do it. We can't have a second. I lost my phone last week. I left it in an Uber. I was crushed. I was walking around like, who am I? Where am I? I didn't know who's contacting me. What's in the news today? It was a nightmare. Then I got it back 2 days later, but it was like, it was weird. It felt like you feel disconnected from Earth, which is sad.
Yeah, no, it's true. And these sounds, there's something about comfort when you're traveling all the time, like just noise. Even if it's a show I don't like, I just throw on it's like Chopped on Food Network.
Same.
And I'm like, I don't even like watching this, but it's just there.
It's just there.
I'd rather have consistent than good.
Yes.
I feel comfortable.
I play a podcast I go to bed to podcast because I just don't want the silence.
Damn.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
But I did that as a kid too.
I get wound up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll do an audiobook is more comforting. Podcast is too. How do you go to bed is like an NPR podcast?
Yeah, I go like a serious one, like Freakonomics or Radio Lab or something like that, where it's just kind of droney, and I'm out.
I can do like an audiobook, but I can't
That works
I guess
too.
it's like the same shit though.
But you're right, man. We are juiced up. We need to be constantly entertained, constantly distracted.
I mean, can you even imagine taking a shit without a phone in your hand?
Oh, somebody once told me they didn't get back to me. They're like, "Sorry, I was shitting." I was like, "Who shits without a phone?" Like, you're obviously lying. Yeah, you would have seen that while shitting and wiping. So I got him on that one. But yeah, just think like 1996. We just took a shit, just stared at the wall.
Usually you had a book or a newspaper, George Carlin brain droppings or something in there,
right.
Or you'd have
books behind the toilet.
Oh, I still have toilet books.
Calvin and Hobbes.
How about the dirtiest jokes or whatever? Remember those thick,
I love
inappropriate?
those.
Oh man, those got me through some.
I remember
real
those
diarrhea.
old jokes, like the dirty ones. Like remember the one this is one of my favorite ones. The guy he's shit faced. And he comes home and before he goes home, the bartender's like, he's like, my wife's gonna kill me. What do I do? The bartender goes, put a $10 bill in your front pocket. Say someone vomited on your shirt because he vomited on his shirt. He's like, no, just put, and your wife won't get mad. He gave you $10 for the dry cleaning. And he goes, that's great. He goes home. His wife's like, what the fuck happened? He goes, someone vomited on my shirt. He gave me $10. She pulls it out. This is a 20. He goes, he also shit in my pants.
Great joke. Great joke.
Dirty jokes like that I love.
Oh yeah, I used to read those, and you get hemorrhoids because you never want to get off the toilet. Those were great. It was like pre-Twitter, Yeah, those were great. I remember,
why is my poop pink? Oh, because this was a good book.
Yeah.
This one.
What was that old one? A guy kicks his trailer door open. His gigantic wife is sitting on a Barca lounger, and the guy's holding a duck. And the guy goes, this is the pig I've been fucking. And the wife goes, that's not a pig, it's a duck. He goes, I was talking to the duck. I mean, that is just classic comedy. Not mine. I think that's a Newhart. But either way, good times. Those books were, somebody had to think of those.
Oh, I mean, you know what I love back in the day? Were you familiar with Snaps?
Oh, what are you kidding?
Come on, you knew Snaps.
I went to public school.
Al Jaffe snaps?
No, they were like,
Jesus. Dude, that was the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Dude, they're like they're books of insult. Oh, okay. So I would show up to school. People thought I was a genius for a while because I was in like second grade rattling off insults. Like someone would say something to me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, your mom's so old. She doesn't have milk in her tits. She's got sour cream." And everyone would be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, your mom's legs are like peanut butter, smooth and easy to spread."
Yeah.
And that juice propelled you to become a comic.
Yeah, I was. Although I was a young boy who was stealing the material of Snaps. But yeah, oh my God, you're like, oh, your mom's so fat when she puts on high heels, she strikes oil. All right, I'll tell you, she's all right.
Your mom's so old when the God said let there be light, she hit the switch. Your mom's so dumb. I said it was chilly outside. She got a bowl. I mean, there was a million of them. Your mom's so fat when she sits around the house, she really sits around the house. Some were better than others. But yeah.
Some weren't great, but they lost steam by I think the third book. They were just like, they just got an advance or something.
Right.
Some of these are
and all the moms out there are like, what did I do? What the fuck?
I know.
Why
That's
me?
Hilarious. Dude, we would rattle those off, and it was like, it was great.
Same.
That was like the new duel. It was like,
Right.
you weren't going to shoot somebody, but you were going to verbally go at them.
Rap battle almost. Yeah, that was good stuff. Everybody had them too. Everybody had their one in their back pocket.
Snaps.
Good
What were the
times.
other ones?
You had to make fun back then because
Your mom's
there
so
wasn't
thin she
fun.
could hula hoop in a Cheerio.
Oh,
Shit like
yeah.
that. A dumb one, but thin is kind of a compliment.
Your mom's
You
so
say skinny. Thin is a compliment. You say, you're so
Right.
skinny.
Your mom's so fat she uses the equator as a belt. I think that was one. Oh, here we go. When your mom's so fat when she goes camping, they hide their food. That's fun.
That's a good one.
Mom's so fat she stepped on a scale and said to be continued. These are clever.
These are good.
I swear, your mom's so fat I swerved to miss her in my car and ran out of gas.
That's good.
Oh, remember that one? Your mom's so fat I slapped her ass and I rode the wave.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a
That's
big
a
one.
good one, yeah.
Strikes oil. There's yours. Wow.
Yeah.
This is just Sam's joke book right here. Your mom's so fat she brought a spoon to the Super Bowl. Come on.
Play on words.
Gold.
Snaps will do well on Twitter.
Oh, your mom's so fat her blood type is ragu. I forgot about that one.
They do that one on The Sopranos. I think that's a Paulie Walnuts. He says it again. He goes, you hear what I said? I said she's so fat her blood type is ragu.
Yeah, he repeats it. That's right. Oh, man, your mom's so fat. Her character in Star Wars would be Admiral Snack Bar.
That one's rough.
That is like
That's a long way to go.
Long, hell of a reference. Hell of a reference.
What about the ones about the mom being loose are funny too.
Oh, yeah. Even Rodney is kind of has like
But they're about himself.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, man, I'm so fat. I dropped a
Oh, that's a classic. Your mama's so ugly she threw a boomerang and refused to come back.
Oh, 29. Your mom's so stupid it takes her 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes.
That's a classic.
When I was a kid, took her 2 hours to make Minute Rice. So that's just a little skew on that one. She put airbags on her computer because it crashed.
It's not a good one. Stupid is the harder one.
Yeah.
That's why the 60 Minutes one. It is, look, the mom, it's like the mom is the most offensive thing. I'm like, why aren't there more father jokes? But like the mom is the most hurtful thing you could say.
We're trying to sting here. By the way, blonde jokes and Polak were big, and those are just over.
They're not that good.
They're not that good, but it also shows if you kind of like don't complain, they go away. Because you want to zing somebody. So if you're like, hey, you Polak, they're like, then you don't even do it anymore.
The Polish were too dumb to complain.
There you go. Blonde jokes were big. Those are over.
Those are over. Too many people are dyeing their hair now.
That's true. It's fake blondes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get some other stuff. You got a peeve?
Let me see. I got one I did. Did this to my girlfriend. I do this sometimes. I don't know why I do this. A lot of people I think do this. But we were getting a snack for the movie and I had like a little pin on a popcorn bag. And I grab it and I said, oh, these might be old even with the pen. So I said, let me try. I tried it. And I was like, it's not good. And I handed it to her, like for her to confirm that it wasn't good.
Yes.
Why didn't I just accept that it wasn't good and throw it out? I was like, you try the bad thing as well.
Yes.
I do that with milk sometimes. I'm like, I think it's expired here.
Yeah,
Don't you do that?
do that. Yeah,
We all do that. That's an annoying thing that I was like, I'm busting myself now. I'm not just calling out other people's peeves. I want to hold myself accountable.
Yeah, this tastes terrible. You try it. Yeah, is this beer skunk? This is skunk. And you always have your friend try it. Yeah, that's a thing we do. I don't know if that's a peeve, but it's
If someone else does it, it is.
I guess so.
Let's see what else. Yeah, I don't know.
What about this for a peeve? You ever have this one? You ever make a good point? Like you're kind of arguing with a guy and you make a good point and he goes, that's fair. No, I'm right.
I'm
fair. Right, you're wrong. That's not fair. I'm right.
That's the word. His wording suggests that, but he's not outright saying it. He's found a way around giving you complete credit.
That's what it is. I want the credit. You go 2 + 2 is 5. I say, no, it's 2 + 2 is 4. He goes, that's fair. No. That's correct. But
yeah.
I'm a peeve. It's just a tag on your peeve.
Please.
Someone says, am I right or am I right? You're not giving me any options here.
That's
oh
hilarious.
my God. Yeah. Am I right or am I right? You're fucking annoying.
Yeah, good point. Am I right or am I right?
I think you should fucking sit on a pair of scissors. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, come on. This is kind of a smart business move. You can't lose, right?
Am I right or am I right? Yeah, but you know the person who coined that was like a fucking asshole.
Oh, no doubt about it.
There's no way that guy wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
Like how about the person that go working hard or hardly working? Oh, clever. Thanks.
Yeah. That was big the first time in 1804 when the guy said that.
That was a real cheese dick who said it was never a cool person.
Right. Oh, man, those cubicle kind of like office jokes are brutal. Yeah. $1 million short of $1 million or whatever the fuck it was. What was that one? You know that one. I'm $1 million short of a millionaire.
Yeah, it's always a how you doing.
Yeah.
Just give me a fucking good.
I know.
Just say good.
Keep it moving.
Don't even say, I'll give you hanging in there because we're all struggling right now. That is like the process of like over time it changes. Like 20s, you're like, I'm good. 30s, you're like, I'm hanging in there. 40s, you're like,
Right.
You know how I'm doing. Shut the fuck up.
That's bit potential.
That's a bit?
Potential.
I'll tell you.
Potential.
This guy's all right. He's clucking bits.
How about this one? Oh, you just got in, huh? Thanks for bringing the weather with you.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that was me.
sense.
I'm Storm from the X-Men, asshole.
Yeah, right. I'm Katrina and the Waves. All right, you got a bit?
Do you have a pee? Oh, you do have a pee. Okay,
Yeah.
Here's my bit idea. It's not much yet. I just noted it down, but God damn, getting the push notifications now on Norm. Here's what I got.
Jesus.
Something about like you want to get an adult woman in the mood. Just apologize to her. Like, that's what it is now. Like nothing gets a woman more turned on when you're like, hey, I've been thinking about what I said to you earlier, and it really wasn't fair to you. You know what I mean?
Woo, that's hot.
Like young women, they want to be taken to a concert. Old women, they just want you to swallow your pride. That turns them on.
Yes.
They're willing to do that for them. Like
Right.
because young women need excitement, and adult women, they just need a win.
Right, they need validation.
You know what I mean? There's something there.
Yeah, for sure. You need a perfect example. You know, like, if she's...
Get that crack in my neck.
That was a doozy.
That's for real.
What is a good, if you're like, you know what, I don't take you out enough, or something where you give in, and then you let her win. You know, like, oh, yeah.
I'm just like kissing her, and I'm like, you're right. I really do have a lot of work to do on myself, or something like that.
Yeah, that's hot. That's dirty talk right there.
Because women want to know that a man can improve.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What a great
'Cause
system.
They always want to improve you. They're trying to improve you.
Yes.
We're like stocks. Women buy low and they just hope. You know?
And sometimes you crash. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call a divorce what it really is. We crashed. Right?
Right. Yeah. We plummeted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. But the funny thing about women is they want you to improve, but they're not really doing the improving. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with like a house or something. If you want your house to be fixed up, you got to fix the house. But she wants you to improve from the inside.
They do work sometimes. They're like, what if you did this? They make suggestions. Yeah.
But it's like, hey, how about you help me? You come to therapy with me. You teach me how to do this and that.
Can you imagine giving your girlfriend or fiance one bit of advice to get better, how that would go over?
I've done it.
And how did it go over?
She's dead now. No. She took it. She's cool. My lady played sports, and I think that kind of helped her a lot. It just toughens you up. You can take criticism. And she's one of those people like, I want to know. Like, tell me. Nothing worse than the lady's like, do I look fat in this? And you're like, a little. And they're like, fuck you. It's like, well, don't ask me.
Mark picks the wrong time to be a truth teller.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to be the Lenny Bruce of how do I look. All right?
But if I look fat in something, I'd want you guys to tell me.
But you know that you and your girlfriend are not fat.
I know, but tell her that. She doesn't know.
You tell her that. It's your girlfriend.
I did, and I got the waterworks. No, I'm joking.
I think there's some potential here. There's something here.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
What do you got?
I got a lady bit too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are they gonna hold on to your penis?
So when I've been with my gal for a while now, and you learn when you're with a lady in the beginning, the private parts are the genitals, and after a while, when you're with a girl, the private parts are kind of meaningless because you've been there, done that.
Right.
The stomach is the new private part. I touch my girlfriend's boob. She's like, hey, how you doing? If I touch her stomach, she's like, what the fuck? Are you crazy?
Oh, wow.
And, it's like, that is more private now. than the tits.
You've proven you're safe to the vagina,
Right.
but it's much harder to prove you're safe to the stomach.
Yes.
It's like the stomach lets you in and you bypass the stomach to get to the vagina,
Aha.
but then you're on your way back and they're like, where the fuck do you think you're going?
Interesting. Well, I've been thinking about this bit, and I think the reason the stomach is so private and secretive is because it fluctuates. The boobs are kind of always...
The boobs fluctuate. The vagina doesn't.
Over years, but the
Unless
stomach...
you have kids.
You can have a bad weekend and the stomach changes. You can go off the rails with some cookies and some ice cream, and no girl has ever said, oh my God, my high school reunion's coming up. I got to get these tits into shape. You know what I mean? The stomach, though, it's kind of a barometer for where you're at.
Sometimes the stomach gets bigger, so do the tits.
That's true.
I think the thing that's interesting is something about like, what's the thing that lets you in? It's easy to get in, but then it's hard to get out. I think it's something like that.
Oh, interesting.
How does that connect?
It's almost because the stomach at first is not a big deal, but then you go to the vagina, but then you're going back up. To me, it's something about like it's almost like a relationship. It's easy to get in, it's hard to get out.
Ooh.
I don't know. I might be being too out there with this one, but like
that's interesting. I see where you're going.
But okay, let's go back to because the stomach changes.
Yeah, the stomach changes. The stomach is like where you're at.
Yeah.
You go to the gym to work on your stomach. You're not working on your tits at the gym.
Right.
That's my point.
Some people get their tits reduced to work on their stomach at the gym.
Right, that's true, yeah.
I think I had something which is both need to be filled to be satisfied.
Oh, that was your line.
Stomach
that's
and
good.
tits.
No.
Oh, and vagina.
Vagina.
But you don't have to be filled.
Some gals like a nice fill-up, I think.
A cream pie?
No, I mean like dick size.
Oh,
I'm not talking about, geez.
Well, fill up sounds like you're being like filling up a tank. Yeah.
Full? No.
Something has to be put in them to be satisfied.
Yeah.
That's better.
Better worded.
Better.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking. That's a good tag. That's a good line. But I think there's something there because the stomach changes, and I think that might be the official angle, like the meat of the bit.
Don't touch my stomach. Yeah. Well, even though
I've known you for years, we've had all kinds of sex, we've done everything in the bedroom, but the stomach is still like, whoa, Jesus, don't touch that. It's kind of fascinating.
stomach for the woman is like the butthole for the man.
Oh, now we're cooking.
Well, you're like, you can touch it, but you better give me a fucking heads up.
Right. Now that's an angle. Butthole for the man. It's the name of my album. I like it. It's true. All right. Moving
I just thought
on.
about Norm again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck.
no, I get it. It's tough.
What a day.
Brutal. Life is tough. Life is hard. All right. I just want to give a toast to Neil Diamond. Did he die?
No, he's alive.
Okay.
Why Neil Diamond?
I just think he's underrated in general. I love Neil Diamond.
I was going to ask a question towards the end of the pod, which I think we're coming to, right?
Sorry, that came out of nowhere, the Neil Diamond thing.
So people like Norm, we didn't get to tell him how much we appreciated him.
Yes.
In the last months before he passed, and I don't know even if he wanted that. But is there someone you could think of who's alive right now that would like to hear how much you appreciate them? I mean, I just heard you say, not Newhouse. What's his name? Bob
Newhart.
You mentioned Bob Newhart. He's still alive.
I think, yeah, he is. I think
wow.
people.
He still performs.
Yeah. No, I think people know. Yeah, he was so tight with Rickles, who lived a long time as well. I think who performed till the very end as well. Yeah, I mean, I think we tell them. I think they know. I think the people we know. But if it's comics like that we don't.
Pick someone like you don't know, like a Newhart who would love to hear it. I mean, if he's listening or someone passes it to him, like,
older comics.
Anyone. It doesn't have to be a comic.
Could be a director. Could be a writer. Could be a musician. Excuse me.
We always wait until it's too late.
Yeah.
Like, Norm's not gonna hear any of this stuff we've been talking about how much we love him. He's not gonna hear
Yeah. I'm not gonna do Cosby. All right, no. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, comedy comes to mind, but I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino. I love Scorsese.
The Coen brothers.
I love Bill Murray. Coen brothers, yeah.
I love Lily Tomlin, man.
Lily Tomlin's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard because there's so many and it's hard to be specific, but when they die, you're just zoned in on them. But it's a good point. We always worship people after they die. Like, this is going to sound dark and morbid. Like, Dave Attell is one of the funniest guys on the planet. And he will die one day, as we all will. And I think he's going to get propped up and blown and put on a pedestal, as he should. But I think he should have that more now.
I wish everyone would go out and see Dave Attell on the road.
Agreed.
And I think they do. I think he does well on the road. But I think also just you should know that he is one of the greats of all time and also a great guy. But
great guy.
Dave is... See Dave. If you're on the road, support Dave's comedy because he's influenced all of us. We love him so much.
Here.
Yeah, so Attell's a big one.
Yeah, because when he dies, it's going to be like genius, comedy savant, blah, blah, blah. So, also, you never know what's going to happen to somebody. Like, Norm came out of nowhere. Mulaney goes to rehab. He could have been hurt. Like, you got to just...
Everyone's got a struggle that we don't know about.
That's the thing I'm looking for.
And as cheesy as that shit sounds, I didn't know Norm Macdonald had cancer.
I didn't either. For
I didn't
Chadwick
know that.
Boseman, we didn't know he had
Chadwick
cancer.
Boseman, who was a great actor and only would have been bigger.
To the moon.
He was going to be a megastar. He was going to be fucking Denzel.
Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at Bruce Jenner. The guy was going through this mental strife all these years, and then, like, you just never know. People are going, he won the decathlon. He must be the healthiest guy ever. Not mentally. You never know.
So be more empathetic is what Mark is also saying, I think, which is something that I've had to work on for sure.
Good translator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Chewbacca. You're Han Solo. I'm like, and you translate it to the masses.
Something about the Jews? I don't know.
Chewbacca. Beat you there, Hawaiian.
Also, this episode's out. That means that Matt and my documentary's out. Mark's got a big role in it. It's called Full Capacity. It's on my YouTube channel. It's going to be really good, so I hope you guys watch it. Give it a thumbs up, share it, send it to a friend. Mark's in it, Taylor Tomlinson, Colin Quinn, Ronnie Chang, Ray Romano, Dave Attell, Sam J, Chris Red, so many
Sal Vulcano,
Chris DiStefano, so many of your favorite people in it. Matt did such a great job with it.
Yes.
It's kind of a follow-up to the rooftop thing we did. And
give a shout out to the editor, too. I mean, he killed it.
Comedian Eric Scott.
Eric Scott knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Knocked it out.
This wouldn't exist without him.
This wouldn't exist without him. And not only that, it wouldn't have the arc and the story that it has without him.
He's a talent.
He really... It's nice when a comedian edits something because they understand where to cut. They understand how to give it a story. They understand how to give it an arc. And, like, I'm very proud of what he did.
I screened it for Mark, and Mark said, "Oh, this is paced like a comedian set."
Yes. And
I was like, "Oh, it's perfect."
Blocked out perfectly. Like, this section comes around at the end. It's really well done. I liked it. I got misty. I mean, it's a great time capsule for that moment. And
It's
a
about
great
when
love letter to New York
the
comedy.
pandemic, when clubs just opened in New York and what we'd all been through as comics and kind of getting back into it. We're all rusty. It's kind of that whole ride. So I hope people liked it.
Yes. And if you want to see what New York comedy is like, I feel like you captured it pretty damn well. So here, and to Norm. Come on. One to Norm. One of the funniest guys ever. One of my heroes. So sad. I know it's been a week now since the news is out, but we just found out. So check out his stuff. I mean, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
One of the greats. Take it easy.
Plug some date. You're on the road,
geez,
Mark.
Yeah. Come see us be hilarious at all kinds of Nashville. I'm at Zany's. Love that club. Love that town. Comedy Connection in Providence. Comedy on State in Wisconsin. Rochester, New York. Let's see. Portland Helium. Laugh Boston.
Good rooms.
Oh, yeah. Brea, California. Vancouver, BC. New Orleans, Royal Oak, Michigan, Atlanta, Buckhead Theater, all kinds of dates. Hopefully, we got a Netflix cooking on November 1st, so keep an eye out for that. We have 2 specials online. Check out the doc. Where are you going to be there, Fatty?
St. Louis, Indianapolis, Springfield, Missouri, Chicago, Denver, Phoenix, SF, small theater in New York coming up too, so keep your eyes open on that. And then what else?
San Francisco on the 11th.
I got SF. Yeah. All these tickets are at samuel.com/shows. And then we also got And we also got Buffalo and Dallas in December. Samarel.com/shows. See ya. Yeah, we're going to do a quick one for Norm.
Just a quick little one. We got to do it. We got some great...
We weren't going to drink this episode, but fuck, man. You got to honor one of the greats.
One of the toast. Just a toast for him. Give me that. Angel's Envy.
Do you have a thing?
I'll be fine. I got some coffee in here. We'll be good.
You can do it with coffee?
Yeah, it's just a little backwash. Never hurt anybody.
This is good.
Hey,
Cheers.
here.
Hey, to one of the great comedians of all time, and we love you, Norm.
You got that right. Big fan. Hero. R.I.P.